Shiva Kumar ji, Dr. Shiva Kumar, he's an economist, is now with us. Dr. Shiva Kumar, thank you so much for joining us. The financial impact of this lockdown is something that we have discussed over a very long time. We've been continuously doing. It's the emotional impact and also the mental impact on the children, and in effect, what the impact it has on the economy subsequently is something which is absolutely silent. I don't think people talk about this enough, or don't even know about it enough.
Yeah. I completely agree with you when you talk about making the invisible visible. There are two dimensions that have got sort of sidelined in the discourse on providing more food, shelter, cash, and so on, which are extremely vital for the nutritional well-being of children and avoiding hunger and starvation. One is really the mental well-being of children. And many experts will tell you that when there is forced confinement and lockdown, this leads to a lot of anxiety disorders. And these often take the form of maybe headaches, muscle pain, body aches, disruption of sleep patterns. And this goes quite unnoticed, but has a very telling effect on a child's behavior and growth over the times. Also, when you do this, when you're forced to stay confined, restrained with no social interaction, it also breeds aggressive behaviors. So I think this looking at mental well-being in addition to physical well-being and health is an extremely important dimension that we need to factor in.
To describe you as an economist is a little bit of an understatement, because you worked on social policy all your life and you focused on children and women. That's been your main area of focus. So I would say that as an economist, this specialization makes you understand the plight that children are in today much better than others.
Thank you, Pranay. And that's what I'm trying to say. In addition to increasing allocations for generally health and particularly for children, we also need to allocate very significant resources for addressing the mental well-being. By the way, there is also this expression called quarantines, which means that teenagers who are also forced into this kind of lockdown with loss of privacy have their own set of anxieties. Children who are finishing school are not sure on what is going to happen in terms of college admissions. So this, with pressure from parents to perform well in schools, there's a lot of concern among young children as well. And finally, I want to add that, yes, we are doing homeschooling to the extent possible, but there's a large segment of children who may not have that kind of privileged access to homeschooling via Zoom and Skype and so on and so forth. So the disruption in their learning is going to be quite severe, and this kind of lack of educational attainment is an educational injustice that we certainly need to factor in and address, both in terms of the resource allocations that need to be increased for school education, but also specifically focusing on the needs of underprivileged and poor, vulnerable children.
Right, and it's a great investment for the future of this country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva Kumar.